Bitwit's coverage of Computex 2018 is brought to you by Fantex, Vertigear, Enermax, Be Quiet, and CableMod. You can learn more about their products in the links below. What's going on, guys? We're here at the Enermax suite at Computex 2018, taking a look at some of their products. I'm actually really excited to take a look at some of these AIOs. This is their Liqtech II, which arrives in Q3 of this year. Very highly anticipated successor to the super popular Liqtech I, or just the regular Liqtechs. But these are great. 500 watt TDP capacity. These things are going to cool like monsters. This one in particular that you're looking at is the 240 version. It's got two twister bearing fans, super high quality. I just really love the blacked out scheme. And the radiator thickness is actually 32 millimeters thick. So definitely a lot of cooling potential here. Very nice fin density I can see right here. Sleeve tubing. You've got RGB lighting at the front with that nice glossy finish. That's of course compatible with several different RGB softwares for your motherboard. If you don't have an RGB supported motherboard, you can also have control through this included controller, so you can just switch around there. You don't really need to have the latest board to take advantage of the various aesthetic features here. But this is only the 240 model. They're also going to offer it as a 360 and a 280 as well. All the pricing that they mentioned is very competitive. I believe 109 for the 240, and then that scales upward from there. But you can see this is a white one. So we actually have a white Liqtech II. That's fantastic. Fantastic. And then we also have some silver sleeving. I kind of like how they went with silver sleeving, not just the traditional black that we see with a lot of white AIOs these days. You even notice that the block itself is white too. That's pretty cool. The radiator is fully white. It's got some black trim around, but this is more of a standard 27 millimeter thick radiator. But again, I'm sure that this is going to do some amazing damage when it comes to cooling your CPU with that 500 watt TDP. If you're curious at all about the pump that these coolers are using, it's actually got an EF1 pump. That's their own in-house brand. There's no Asetek here. They really wanted to craft these guys from the ground up, and it's got an insane flow rate of 450 liters per hour. It's actually the same pump that's being used in their existing TR4 model, which is a fantastic cooler on its own. And if you're also curious about compatibility, these are supporting all the major Intel and AMD sockets for AMD Ryzen AM4. Again, TR4 for Threadripper and Threadripper 2, that's going to be a completely different line. But let's move on. Now this is one of the cooler coolers that I've seen in recent months. This is their LiqFusion. We actually took a first look at this at CES earlier this year, so it's not incredibly new, but the demo that they have here today is a bit more up and running than it was at CES. You can see they've got an actual controller connected now. So apart from RGB software with your motherboard, you can actually control the lighting effects with this controller, which it doesn't look like I'm doing a very good job of it right now, but you get the idea. The RGB fans are fantastic looking. They're bright. I mean, it's really well lit here at the Nangang Exhibition Center, and I can see all of the lighting on this unit perfectly. And also the flow indicator inside of this water block is just, it's not just mesmerizing, but it's functional, and it lets you know, it gives you that peace of mind that you are getting a decent flow rate through this cooler at all times. And also a nice little weird addition here, so sort of a quirk, is that they've actually included the pump alongside the sleeving here, and that obviously gives you room for that flow indicator in the water block. So be on the lookout for this cooler as well. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Enermax is one of the brands that has actually signed up with the Tough Gaming Alliance, partnering with Asus, and so they've actually come together to bring you guys this TGA, or Tough Gaming Alliance, Revo Braun Pack, which actually includes this power supply. I believe it is, okay, I just got confirmation, it's 500, 600, and 700 watts available, 80 plus bronze certified. Looks pretty sweet. It's got sort of a nice pattern here that would obviously match a tough motherboard any day of the week. The fan seems fairly durable and quiet, although it's kind of hard to tell right now. And then we've also got in this same package, not only will you get the power supply, but it comes included with 3 RGB fans. These are twister bearing, high quality fans that obviously have RGB lighting. They're super fancy looking. But this is really cool, is this little controller that unfortunately only works with the Revo Braun power supply, but it does some pretty cool stuff. Depending on how you want it configured, there's a whisper mode that'll actually keep the fans at 0 RPM until it gets to about 40-45% load on your system, and then it'll ramp up so you get just absolute silent performance when you're not taxing the system very heavily. There's also a fan delay option, so after you turn your system off, let's say you've been gaming for a long session or something like that, the fans will continue spinning for around a minute more, so that it just cools your components down. It's not great to just do a hard stop and let your hot components just sit there smoldering like lava. And there's a bunch of other cool features you can do with this unit. So altogether, this package is here for you guys if you're interested. Very cool stuff. And now if you're looking for something a little bit beefier than that TGA power supply, this is the Max Type. This is 80+ titanium certified with over 94% efficiency. It comes in 2 flavors, 1250 or 1050 watts, based on your needs. And it also includes that cool little fan controller that we just took a look at. I should also mention you can not use this if you don't want to take advantage of the semi-passive cooling or anything like that. One great thing about this fan, and just this unit in general, is that it actually runs in passive mode. So 0 RPM on the fan up to 60 or 70% system load, which is actually one of the highest in the industry. So most of the time, this thing is going to be absolutely silent in your system unless you're putting it under the heaviest of workloads. One thing of note is that it is a fairly large unit, as you might expect, so make sure that you've got a compatible case, and as you also might expect, fully modular design. Ooh, look at all those dust covers. I just want to pop them all off. Can we do that? Can we just like pop off all the covers? Ooh, this is fun. Oh, they're gonna kick me out any day now. They're gonna kick me out right about. So you guys probably remember the Enermax Saberay for CES. This was actually one of my favorite cases at the show floor earlier this year. It still is actually a really great case in my opinion. But if you look over here, you get pretty much all the same functionality, but in a very nice white aesthetic with addressable RGBs going down the same sides. It just looks fantastic. IMO, you guys let me know what you think about the Saberay in white. This is going to be coming later this year. Soon enough, you'll be able to get your hands on it. But if you wanted something a little bit more exclusive, well, this is sort of a concept project right now. This is also a Saberay. It's the Saberay Advanced. Also has addressable RGB lighting like the white version, but you get dual tempered glass side panels that are completely toolless. I'm not exactly sure if this is the exact method that they're going with, but it also kind of pops out like that so it doesn't completely shatter. There's sort of a catch to it, right, that we've seen on some other cases this year. But altogether, a very nice case, and if you look up top, we actually get USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type-C. It's a prototype right now, so it still says USB 3 there, but rest assured you do get a Type-C connector, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for Enermax here at their suite at Computex 2018. But one last thing I wanted to give you guys before I sign off. There's actually a cool little demo that they have set up here where they've got their water block with the EF1 pump right here versus a competing pump. This is just a competitor's water block, and you can see that they're each hooked up to their own reservoir. If I hit the green button, there's kind of a little bit of a showcase here to show you that the flow rate and just the amount of force and power that this pump is able to pump out, is actually demolishing the competition in a very, very tangible way. So there you go. Look forward to all this cool stuff from Enermax coming very soon. I know I'm pumped. And thank you guys for watching this video. Go ahead and check out the links from all my awesome sponsors in the description below, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.